As expected, Season 2 of The Witcher left everyone in chaos. The show had so many elements that we did not find the answers to, even in the second installment, which is why all the fans are dying to know if Season 3 will ease their miseries by solving some of the greatest mysteries in the show. Let's dive into some of the answers we are expecting in The Witcher Season 3. Firstly, is the Wild Hunt going to decide to go after Ciri? What reason could they possibly have? The Wild Hunt was a concept that we only saw in the second season of The Witcher. It consisted of specters who are always mounted on undead horses, seen going across the sky on their way somewhere. If we were honest, the Wild Hunt is quite a creepy group of undead creatures and is perceived as a war omen. Towards the end of Season 2, we all know how Ciri, Geralt, and Yennefer all end up in an entirely different dimension, where the Wild Hunt could be seen. If the show were to follow the books, the Wild Hunt would definitely chase Ciri down, motivated by her possession of Elder Blood. Capturing her would enable them to force Ciri to mate with their king. This would ensure that Elder Blood will then seep into the elves through their offspring, and they would then be able to get through the gate with the possibility of the elves traveling to several other dimensions. Even though this makes the most logical way to proceed with the third season of the show, we still can't be sure of what twists they have planned in mind for the audience. Moving on, are we finally going to see Yennefer and Geralt reunited? Most of us hopeless romantics had expected Geralt and Yennefer to have resolved their issues by the end of Season 2. Instead, the creators only wanted to keep us in suspense a little longer, as throughout Season 2, we could see their problems escalate further as time passed. The biggest problem arose when Yennefer broke Geralt's trust and handed Ciri over to the Voleth Meir. It really broke Geralt's heart, as he had entirely kept his trust in her, and she had become selfish at the moment, desperate to get her powers back and being lured in by evil forces with the promises of that power. It has raised a big question regarding whether Yennefer and Geralt are compatible or not. By the books, Geralt and Yennefer do eventually make it up to each other, as Yennefer becomes a mother figure for Ciri. However, the show has been quite unpredictable. Even though all three of them, Ciri, Geralt, and Yennefer, had finally ended up in one place together, we can still not see signs of any romance between the couple, as Yennefer has lost Geralt's trust and would have to do something spectacular to win it back. It's okay though, because we're all rooting for them. Following up, why is Emhyr Var Emreis still alive, and will he end up going for Ciri? By the end of Season 2, we were shocked by many things, one of which was the revelation of who the White Flame actually was, Emhyr Var Emreis. He was called by the name Duny and was also the actual father of Ciri. It had always been implied throughout the show that Duny, alongside his wife, had unfortunately passed away, leaving Ciri orphaned under the care of her grandmother. However, Season 2 showed that he was actually not just alive, but also Nilfgaard's emperor, and the person to whom Cahir and Fringilla had their loyalties for a long time. In the books, their story proceeds quite interestingly, as Duny had apparently planned to fake his and his family's death to escape to Nilfgaard. His wife and Ciri's mother, Pavetta, didn't agree with the plan and got Ciri off the boat in time, but she died at the hands of her husband as he pushed her overboard after the argument, proceeding with his routine as planned. The storyline in the books involves incest concerning Emhyr's intentions with Ciri, which is why we could never predict if Netflix decides to keep this storyline or twist it up to fit better into the existing flow of their show. Nonetheless, we're excited to see what they come up with. Next up is the big question of whether we will get to see more Witchers in the show. In Kaer Morhen, the audience got to see more Witchers apart from Geralt himself, which is definitely a rare sight in the world where the show is set. Not just any Witchers, but these were actually Geralt's brothers and his mentor Vesemir. However, most of these Witchers ended up losing their lives in battle when Ciri had gotten possessed. In Season 2, we got to learn that Ciri's blood was the actual key to increasing the population of the Witchers, but going down this lane had meant several other risks of not just putting Ciri, but also themselves in danger. This poses the question of whether we'll get to see places apart from Kaer Morhen, where more Witchers belonging to more schools might also be residing. Not only will the fans love to see more people with characteristics like Geralt in the show, but it would add more bulk and character to the concept of Witchers itself. Lastly, what would be the final fate of Fringilla and Cahir? By the end of Season 2, Cahir and Fringilla had found themselves in grave trouble when the identity of the White Flames was out of the covers. This was especially the case because they had lied to him, the person whom they had been serving. They wanted to give themselves another chance to save their lives, which is why they told Emhyr that they were the ones who had killed Findabair's baby, blaming Redania for the doing. In actuality, Emhyr was the one who had ordered the death of that baby. This is how he caught both of them red-handedly in their lie, and the last time we got to see them on screen was when they were being taken away to God knows where. Hence, the future of these characters remains unknown to the audience, since we all know there is no way they won't be punished for their actions. In Season 3, we are yet to see if Fringilla and Cahir are loyal to Emhyr after this stressful incident, or if they do something else entirely on their own to defy him again. Netflix has always been full of surprises, which is why this would be fun to see in the upcoming season. Now, moving on to other related news. First off, Henry Cavill will be presenting The Witcher himself at the Netflix Tudum event. Just earlier this month, the filming of Season 3 of The Witcher was called to a wrap-up, which means that they are now proceeding to the next stage of filmmaking, where it's all left up to the artists and editors to put it all together. Henry Cavill, who plays the role of Geralt in the show, will be presenting the show at Tudum, offering an insightful look into the behind-the-scenes of the filming process of Season 3. Alongside Henry, Hisrich, the showrunner, will also discuss the show and the spin-off at the event. Even though we're well aware that we won't be getting a detailed look into the Season 3 of The Witcher, we will still be able to cop a look at a short trailer alongside a few fun BTS shots. Coming up, sources are speculating a Season 4 and 5 of The Witcher. Excitement is bound to peak amongst fans when news of Seasons 4 and 5 already start circulating, even though Season 3 isn't out yet. Season 3 is indeed going to take a long while to come to the audience. Netflix has always been big on planning ahead when it comes to their most successful shows. The plan that they have apparently devised is to assemble their writers in time to get Seasons 4 and 5 written back-to-back, after which both of the seasons will be filmed consecutively after one another. Lastly, Robbie Amell's casting in The Witcher Season 3 has raised concerns about the show's accuracy. Gallatin is an original character who does not exist in the books, and it's safe to assume that Amell will be playing a major role, considering he's a big and well-known actor. He is supposed to play the role of an elven warrior, which shows that The Witcher is trying to find its path through the seasons, irrelevant to how the books proceed. Though many people could see this as the creator's personal touch to the show, many people in the audience have concerns regarding the deviation from the original storyline. Rotten Tomatoes seems to show a lot of angry fans, considering the lack of book accuracy to simultaneously be a lack of appreciation for the world that Sapkowski has created in his books and stories. And that's a wrap, folks. Thanks for watching. Do you have any other questions for The Witcher Season 3? And do you think that these questions will be answered? Tell us in the comments below. And as always, make sure to click that button and subscribe to our channel so you never miss out on more fascinating music content. See you in the next one.